deep dish Daisy.
No, Gabby.
Oh, I
no.
love it.
No. Oh my goodness. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Daisy Diaries, where you can tune in every single Thursday. As you guys can hear,
Hi everyone.
I'm with the one and only
Hi everyone.
Gabriel Zamora.
Hi everything. Hi everyone.
I actually am so excited. I feel like everybody loved you on the podcast last episode that I literally was like begging Gabby to come back. And so we are back today. I actually extended my trip again.
Mm-hmm. She loves to extend her trip.
I just love to extend my trip. I basically just live here at this point, you know?
Honestly, as you should.
But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we are a little bit hungover right now.
A little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
A little bit. Because we had a time last night.
We went to a party and it was fun. It was for Taste Salud. And
it was a collaboration
with
Dioro.
Dioro?
Uh-huh.
I say De Oro. I don't know who it is, but I was just thinking like, oh, it must be Spanish. So I read De Oro.
Dioro. Yeah, he's a DJ. We love his music. Well, I love his music a lot.
Yeah, it was fire.
We were dancing the entire night. We were dancing the entire night. Now, here's the thing though. Like, as soon as we get there, I am the type of girl that like, I just want to get straight to the point. Like, I just want to get drunk. I don't want to sip on a cute little cocktail. I don't want to wait to like get a buzz. Like, I just want the buzz to like hit me right then and there.
So you don't like foreplay?
Not with my drinking, no.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I'm a foreplay kind of girl. Like, whether it be with drinks or men.
Not with my drinking. I don't really like cocktails.
Really?
Unless it's like an espresso martini and I'm out like at dinner, then sure. But like if I'm out at a club or, you know, like, well, first of all, I don't drink at events like that. Like if it's like a makeup event but because it was our friends and like I'm comfortable, then I'll like, you know, be a little bit more loose when I'm drinking. But as soon as we get there, I go to the bar and I was like, give me 2 tequila on the rocks. That's what I asked
tequila
for.
on the rocks is so crazy because it's literally just tequila with ice.
I know.
Like I was like, girl, this is a shot. Like,
but it was like 5 shots.
No, that was like 2 or 3 shots.
No.
It was not 5, girl.
No, it was a lot.
It was because there was a lot of ice.
True.
So it made it look like there was a lot.
Yeah, it was like 3 shots, maybe.
And you only really do like either like a brown liquor or a mezcal on ice.
Well, I was like, I want to get
or even
straight to
like
the
a
point.
reposado. I could do a reposado on ice.
Plus, you had a little bit of anxiety, so I was like, we just need.
I had hella anxiety. Well, mind you, Daisy's like, oh, it's like a super dressy event. I wasn't even invited because Josh hates me. No, it was just like an oversight. Because he was like, oh my God, he was so apologetic. But we go and then Daisy's like, it's fancy. Look at the photos of the venue. It's nice. We're going to dress up. And I was like, okay, cool. Like we're dressing up. Daisy shows up in like a gold sparkly mini dress. I show up in a full sequin setup. Like the pants are sequin, the top is sequin.
Body was out.
We were giving. We show up. Everybody's in like jerseys. And that's nothing wrong. No, you know, like they had just came from a soccer game and that's fine. But we were the only people sparkling that night.
And dressed the fuck up. And I was like, oh my God.
No, because I did see other people kind of dressed up. Other girls.
Yes.
And there were some guys, they were like dressed up, but we were the only ones in sequins.
Like.
In the entire party, we were the only ones in sequins. So I was like, period.
Period. But then
I was like a little anxious because I was like, oh my God, I feel overdressed. But it's better to be overdressed than underdressed.
That is very true.
I definitely agree with that. So we needed alcohol.
Yeah, no, we definitely did. And you know what's so funny is that I don't get anxiety anymore when I go out into social settings. Back then, like I would start shaking and stuff, like being at the club. Like I would get so paranoid of like what could happen or like on it. I think it was though my anxiety was a little bit worse in social settings when like all the shootings were happening because I think about that a lot whenever I go out now. Yeah. Do you ever think about that when you go out?
Mm-mm.
No?
Not really.
Not anymore, but I feel like when it was happening a lot, like that's what was constantly in the back of my mind. Like shopping at a grocery store, I was like, oh my God, like it could get shot up at any second. Like it just became like such a thing here in America. But we drank, we saw all of our friends. It was just so refreshing because I hadn't seen everybody in a very long time.
Yes, it was so fun. We got to dance. We got to dance our little butts off. And we were dancing.
I want to say one thing. Gabby turns straight when he drinks. Cause like
I cannot confirm or deny these allegations.
No, I asked Gabby to record a video for me. I hand him my phone, and with one hand he's holding the phone, the other one's on my thigh, and I'm like, Gabby, I was like, why are you holding me like you're my man's? And you were like, shut up, I'm trying to get you a video, and I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, of the like boxing people.
I was literally just standing there like, why is Gabby's hand on?
Well, because there was like people around, and she's like, get a good angle for me. So I was like, okay.
Oh, you were trying to protect me?
Well, no, I was just like being like the Instagram husband. I was like, okay, let me get the angle, and
But
I
you
was
have
like,
to grab my thigh.
I was grabbing you, like I was just like, maybe I was like wobbly. I was like stabilizing myself.
Oh man, no. But one thing about Gabby and I is we're gonna dance.
Oh, we always dance.
We dance. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, like we were like in the middle of the crowd, just like dancing our little hearts
you know,
up.
it just felt it felt like a movie scene. Like it was just everything was super nice, and yeah, it was a very fun event. Shout out to Te Salud.
Yeah, shout out to Te Salud.
I ended up getting home at 6 a.m.
That's disgusting. That's crazy.
I know. I got home at 6 a.m. and I woke up at 11, and I was like, oh my God. I don't know.
I like that we woke up at the same time, but I went home and was asleep by 2.
Well, I at least got 5 hours of sleep.
Okay.
It's not that bad.
I got 9.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, some people can run on a couple hours of sleep and they function better.
No, it's so bad for you.
I can't do that.
I can't do that. I love sleep.
I love sleep as well.
Like, yeah, I have to sleep. At least 8 hours. I love my 8 hours of sleep.
Really?
Yeah. What? You don't like that?
I mean, I sleep like, I wake up every day at like 9.
Okay.
But I go to sleep at 2 a.m. every night.
Oh, that's not bad. I go to sleep at around like 12 or 1.
Yeah.
And then I wake up at like 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many hours of sleep is that?
It's like 8, 9
Okay.
hours.
That's not that bad. That's not that bad. But I had fun. It's just like afterwards, because the party ended about like 1 something. Everybody was trying to find something to do. Somebody was like, we're going to Cheetahs. I was like, what is Cheetahs?
What is Cheetahs?
A strip club, I think it was.
Oh, period.
I love me a good strip club.
Really?
Did you ever go to Ecstasy in Dallas?
No.
It was.
Which I'm not even from Dallas.
Oh yeah, you're right.
What the fuck?
It was this strip club that was like 2 floors. There was this video that went viral of like a stripper that had fell from the very top of the pole and she broke her jaw.
Yes.
That was at Ecstasy in Dallas. They just shut it down after like years and years of business, and I was like, oh, I love me a good strip club. When was the last time you went to a strip club?
Last time I went to a strip club was 2019, end of 2019.
Why?
Because I did a sponsorship with the Hustlers movie, the one with J-Lo.
Period.
And it was an activation where like I had to go to a strip club. It was like me and 2 other influencers, girls, and we had to basically learn how to become a stripper. So a stripper taught us how to be a stripper, taught us all the confidence. Like it was like they filmed it all. So I have like high quality video footage of me with like heels dancing on like a strip club.
That's hot.
What would be your song?
I was about to say, what would be your
My song was...
No, what would be your name, your stripper name?
Oh, my name.
I think my name would be Diamond.
Really?
Diamond or D Nasty.
D Nasty?
D Nasty is crazy.
D Nasty, mine would be... And on the main stage, maybe Gabby?
No, something like creative, like Scarlet or Diamond or...
Daisy. That would be my name. Deep Dish Daisy. What would be your song though? Like what would be your song?
Like depends like what mood I'm trying to give.
Okay.
Like if I'm trying to seduce, I'll probably play Waiting Game.
By who?
I don't know the artist.
Mine is Bed by Jacques.
I don't think I've ever heard that song. Ooh, if I'm trying to like turn it up, mine would probably be Down by Jeremiah. She wanted, I could tell she wanted.
Yeah, but like you have to remember, like you have to dance multiple songs. So if you get too tired and you don't want to get all sweaty, you know what I mean? So you have to do like sexy music.
I would be so down to take a pole dancing class. Would you be down?
Anything with Future.
Oh yeah.
Anything for Future.
You're right.
Like his newest one with Metro.
Ooh,
We Love Bad Bitches.
Oh, I love that song.
Love that song.
Love
I could strip to that.
Actually, yeah, me too. Okay, right? I like that.
Okay, love that for us. We're gonna start.
There are a few topics that I want to talk about on today's episode. And we were kind of talking about this a little bit. Number one being, I asked Gabby, I was like, are you toxic? I was like,
Who's that?
I had asked you.
I'm a little toxic. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like based off of like even our last podcast, some people agreed, some people didn't agree with me. You know. They also called me fat.
You guys, wait. I also I want to address this because somebody also they were like, oh my gosh, she looks overweight, and I was like, wait,
Guys, it's the camera angle. We are not fat, and there's nothing wrong with being fat.
No,
we're not shaming nobody. It's just people are like, oh, y'all look big. And it's like, it's the angle. I promise. I mean, our butts are big, but not us. But I am a little toxic. I don't think there's anything wrong with understanding your qualities. And sometimes like certain things might be deemed as toxic. Like for me, I like a man to be possessive, but I am not your possession. So it's like, I like a man that's like, you know, like calls me and then I don't answer. So he calls me again. I'm just like, oh my God, stop. You want to talk to me? I
don't know. To me though, I feel like someone who's toxic is like, you like to argue and you like to find the negative in everything. Like that's what I mean by like, are you toxic in that sense or just?
No, but I definitely do like to debate. I like to have uncomfortable conversations. In my previous relationship, he said I was very argumentative. Like I like to argue. And I'm like, and he would be like, oh, when we argue. And I'm like, I don't think we're arguing when we're talking about an uncomfortable topic. Just because you're uncomfortable, I'm not raising my voice at you. I'm not cussing at you. And I'm not calling you out of your name.
True.
We're having a conversation. It's an uncomfortable one, but you need to grow up and have it.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to be sitting around waiting.
I feel like that was him being insecure saying that it was.
Yeah. Like one of the things, because Daisy heard the recording of me and my ex arguing.
Oh my gosh. No, you guys, I kid you not. My jaw was on the floor. I was like in shock when I heard this voice. I told Gabby, I was like, if this were to hit the internet, like it would break the internet. I was actually in shock. But the way that you argue is...
I always say this. I should have been a lawyer.
No, literally. Like, I have never heard anything like that in my life where Gabby is so fast at picking up the conversation. And while he's like replying back, he also is making notes in his head about what he's going to say in the next point and the next point and the next point. And I was like, oh my God, I would hate to argue with you.
Yeah. Like, I'm very, like, I'm quick with it.
You're very quick with it.
And with him, he wasn't the best at like quickly communicating, so sometimes he would like need like a little bit of space to be able to get his thoughts together, but that's not me. I'm not gonna wait 5 minutes for you to get one thought together. Let's have it right now. Let's have the conversation right now. So he would be like, oh, you're like argumentative, but it's like, I'm not argumentative. There's just some things that I'm not okay with and I'm gonna voice it. Like, okay, you tell me if this is toxic. Okay. He had an ex for years, right? They had broken up. And it was when I met him, I think they had broken up for like at least like maybe like 5 months, right? I knew that like I was like, you need time off after a very long relationship. You need at least a year, right? But he's like, no. Like I know I'm ready. I know I'm ready. I mean, when you meet a bitch like me, you don't want to pass me up, right? Yeah. So I get that. So I knew that like it ended bad, right? Like it ended, like they had stuff together, like they still had like a condo together and they were like figuring out what they were going to do with it and sell it. And he's like, how do you feel about me like communicating with my ex? And I was like, I don't mind that. Like when it comes to the condo, absolutely. Like I'm not going to be unrealistic. Y'all have to sell this property. Yeah. But like, other than that, like y'all don't fuck with each other. You told me he like dogged you out after the breakup and like during the breakup. So it's like, okay, that's not somebody you should like care for in a sense anymore. But then one time he's like, hey, can I ask you something? And this was like right before bed. And I was like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, how would you feel if I picked up my ex's mom from the airport? And I was like, so he can't pick her up? And he's like, well, no, like he asked me because he's like, he's going to be working or something like that. And I was like, so he asked you for a favor? He's like, no. And I was like, he asked you for a favor. He is unavailable and he's asking you to go pick up his mom at the airport. He's like, okay, yeah, I guess it's a favor. And I was like, okay, so help me understand how within the last 2 weeks that we've talked about him, you said he was dogging you out during the whole like selling of the property. Like he was being an asshole to you. He was like very demeaning to you. And now all of a sudden 2 weeks later, you're doing him favors? Yeah, where am I missing something? Because it doesn't make sense. How are y'all cool now? And he's like, well, I don't understand why it's an issue. And I was like, it's an issue because why can't he call her an Uber? Oh, because the Uber situation is crazy. Does he not have other friends? Well, I already know her. Okay, I don't care. That's not your.
Yeah, it's like them still being comfortable with each other.
Yeah, it's like why that. And I remember when we had that argument, that final argument. He's like, and yeah, you wouldn't let me do things, and I was like what? He's like picking up my ex's mom from the airport. I was like, oh my god, girl, like we're still talking about this after the breakup. We're still talking about this, and I'm just like,
I don't think I would be okay with that either.
I'm not because I'm like, the only bitch that I'm uneasy about, because I'm not insecure. But the only bitch I'm uneasy about, it ain't the bitches out in the streets. It's your ex that knows you. This person knows you. Y'all were together. It's easy to go back to something familiar.
Yeah, it is.
So for me, I was like, nah, like I have an issue with it because it's like, why do you want to have a friendship with your ex? It's one thing if y'all were already friends after the breakup and I meet you and it's like, well, we're cool. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like that I don't mind because it's like, I'm not about to be like, now you can't talk to me. I would like for you not to because you and this person have had sex, but
you're not going to force them to.
I'm not going to force it. So it's like, now you want to like be buddy-buddy with your ex? No, not with me.
Question. Do you think you could be friends with your ex? Are you friends with any of your exes?
There's this one guy, the one that I told you about.
Oh, okay.
Mind you, we didn't even date. Okay. We had a crazy week while he was visiting here. Then we talked for like 2 weeks after he left, right? We were still talking like daily and we really connected. He broke it off, right? Oh. He was like, something is just not working for me, right? And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to chase. Thank you for letting me know. But we're cool, right? And he was like, yeah, like I still want to be friends. I still want to be friends. And I'm like, okay, I'm never friends with exes. I'm never friends with people that I've talked to, right? So I was like, this is why I don't like to like date within like circles or friends. So I'm like, okay, I need to grow up and understand that this is my friend's friend and he's going to be around. He's an influencer. I can't be like, no, you can't be around, right? So you get over it, Gabriel. You're going to eventually have to be friends with him. But I told him, I was like, yo, I just need space. Because like I thought it was real. Cool if you didn't think it was real. So then after that, like he was just real distant. And I was like, I thought you wanted to be friends. Like, what the fuck? So then this happens in like February, March. And then in June, he's all like, he soft blocks me because I was hanging out with guys. I'm like, what? I can't hang out with guys? Yeah, they do OnlyFans, but it doesn't mean I'm bugging them.
But don't you think it's crazy how like entitled he already felt and you guys never dated?
We never even dated. Like, bro, you never took me out on a date.
And he got pressed over
like that. He got pressed and I was just like, that's crazy. Because like I saw it and I like screenshot and I sent it to him. He sends me this like bitch ass fucking message like, oh, I didn't want it to seem like that. I just hate seeing you with guys. So I like call him. I was like, we got beef? Like, what's up?
I love that I know who you're talking about. I wish they knew who you were talking about.
Punk ass man. So then I was like, so we got beef? He's like, no. We talked for an hour and I was like, okay, cool. Like, we're good, right? He's like, yeah, we're good. Cool. He moves to LA. I have mutual friends. And I was like,
was he already in the scene when he moved here?
Kind of, yeah. He was already like
he already had like a friend group and stuff? Oh, okay.
He already had like, he was like, well, influencer friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like, cool. Like, I know I'm going to see you around. That's fine. Then he just kept getting in his feels about stuff. Like, he was too sensitive around me. And I'm like, one thing I will never do is entertain a man who says, I don't want you, but I don't want nobody to have you. Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my face and get the fuck out of my space. Like, please move it along because we're not about to play that game. Unless you feed me, fuck me, and fund me, you can't tell me what I can and can't do. Okay? So he started to be weird. I told my friend, I was like, why is he being weird? And she confronts him and he's like, oh, okay, like, cool, like, I'll chill. Then we started to be friendly, right? And this was like recent, within like a few months ago. We started to be cool, went over to his house. Like, we were cool. Like, we were friendly. Like, we weren't hanging out one-on-one, but I was like, okay, cool. Like, we could be cool. Like, if it doesn't work out romantically, that's fine. We clearly had like a cool connection. We could just be friends. I'm never going to beg a man to like want me. Like, if you don't want me, that's fine. Trust me, motherfuckers are lined around the block. Okay? Gabriel Zamora is never pressed over a man. I always have options. So then we were like cool and like hang out, cool, chill. He started to get a little flirty. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are you being flirty? We went to like this thing. I don't want to say where we went because y'all might clock who it is and I don't want that. But we go to this thing and he's being very flirty. And I was like, it was confirmed that he was being flirty. And then, so I didn't make this up. And then a week later, I see him a literal week later. We're going out and he's being weird. He's being cold. He's being like real, like weird with me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and it gave me anxiety because I was like, you're taking me back to that like feeling of like, you're making me feel like I'm like some nobody ass throwaway bitch. And that's not me. So I was like, what the fuck? And at one point I was like, I'm overthinking it. I'm on an edible. No, but I was watching it. And it was confirmed that he was being weird. Mm-hmm. And I was like, nah. And at one point I was about to like, as we're out and I'm drinking, I'm like, why are you being weird? I wanted to. And I was gonna do it. But then I was like, Gabriel, the fact that you have to ask this means you don't need to entertain this man. Mm-hmm. So I turned my ass around and I went to the bar with my friends because like some of them were ordering. He was sitting. So I was like, nah, fuck this. So then I ignored him. You want to play this game? We can play this game. Trust me. I'm a Pisces too, babe. You want to be a toxic Pisces? I could be a toxic Pisces. Ugh. Don't play with me. So then I find out that he was like, well, I just wanted to be like respectful because I know he's dating someone. And I'm like, what? It's been a year, bro. Get over me. But like I said in that last podcast, every single man I've ever interacted with is whooped on Gabriel Zamora. Period. And as they should. But I was like, what are you talking about? You want to be like respectful. We don't fuck. We don't kiss. I don't flirt with you. So what are you talking about being respectful? You're just mad. Yeah. You're mad that I'm like good. Yeah. And it like fucks with their ego. Because it's like, why can't we just be friends?
It's like, no.
It's like, so let me get this straight. You want me to be single so you can flirt with me, but you don't want me. And then when you do want someone and you get with them, I'm still single. You want me to stand around waiting for your bitch ass? You think does it say stupid bitch on my forehead?
Yeah, no.
That's crazy.
I feel like crazy. A lot of men though are entitled like that, especially nowadays. Like dating.
Oh, we didn't fuck. That's the crazy part.
And he's still so whooped on you.
Whooped. Imagine if we did fuck, he would have been killing people for me. That's kind of hot.
No, I don't think you could be friends with an ex. I'm not friends with
any of your exes.
No, I mean I can be cordial. Like if I were to see them like in a room, I'll say hi. Yeah. Like I have nothing but love and respect for the people that I've dated, but I've also only dated 3 people.
Because I'm also like wondering like where does the love go after the breakup? Especially when you care so much for someone. It's not like a switch, right?
No, and also for me it's like I've never gotten broken up with. I've always been the one to break up with them. And also for me, it takes a lot for me to like break things off and like walk away. So just know that if I like walked away, it's because I was like fed the fuck up.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think I could ever be friends. I've tried, but then it's just like there's a lot of history there. So it's like, what are we doing? Like I don't want to repeat the history. Clearly, we didn't work out. I don't think you can go from like being lovers to friends because then you're gonna end up being back to lovers. You're gonna end up enemies. Like. I don't hate any of my exes.
So we're enemies now.
Oh my god.
I don't think we're enemies.
I don't hate any of my exes. I have nothing but love for them. But back to the toxicity. Do you think I'm toxic? Because I don't think I'm toxic.
I don't think you're toxic.
I'm honestly so chill, and it's so crazy because Laura was like, Daisy, you're so toxic. I'm like, Laura, I'm not toxic at all.
I don't think you're toxic. I just think you move more masculine than the regular girls. Because you kind of move like sometimes like a guy. You kind of do. And I'm just like, they probably think that's toxic, but it's like, how y'all mad that she's playing the same game y'all are playing?
You know, that is so true. Wait, you know what Gabriel was telling me is because I don't like, not intimacy, but like, if I'm just getting
foreplay. We just talked about it in the beginning. You don't like foreplay.
No, I love foreplay. But what I don't like is like, if we just start talking and you're already like being so touchy, feely and like trying to caress my face, that to me like not scares me, but I don't like it. So then I'm like, don't do that until we're like down the road, like when I let my wall down a little bit more comfortable. And then Gabriel goes, just say you hate men. I was like, I don't.
Just say you hate men. I love a man.
I mean, oh my God.
To be all over me. If I allow them to.
If you allow them to.
If I allow them.
I had actually signed up for this app that was like to meet women because I'm like, dude, like, I don't know. For me, like, I've also never gone to gay bars. Maybe I should go to a gay bar or something.
I think also it's not to say that this is why, but from what I've noticed that women who do become more exploratory with connections with other women appreciate the depth, the emotional depth that women can provide. Because it's true. It's like sometimes like straight men are just not intellectually like at the level of to stimulate women's minds. Like, yes, you can stimulate me physically, but sometimes it's like we need depth. Yeah. And it doesn't need to be a puddle, but like we need it to go deep.
Yeah.
And like I love to go deep with emotions and intellect and feelings and like all that stuff. So it's like, if you can't like mentally stimulate me, I don't care about your body. I don't care if you're hot. I don't care if you're tall. I don't care if you're buff. Like, I don't care about nothing.
Exactly.
Like, mentally stimulate me because, and I was telling you, I'm like, if my partner isn't mentally stimulating me, I don't care how hot and successful you are.
I will literally walk out.
And it's not even like partner. I think that's different. I think dating. This more so applies when it comes to dating. If you're not mentally stimulating me, somebody else can come in. Yeah. And I've been watching a lot of Love Island. So a bombshell can come into my life. Okay. And if this person gives me far more like better attention and like more of the needs that I want, it's like, don't be surprised that I'm like, even if we have a great connection, like that's what I require. I don't want somebody that's like just like hot.
Yeah, no.
I need like emotional, mental stimulation. And I feel like women have that. Like I thought about it. I'm like, could I be attracted to a woman? And I'm like, no. I want to. Trust me. If it was a choice, I would just be straight. If it was a choice, I would totally be straight. Because trust me, these men are a headache. Oh my God. So if I could have like a girlfriend, if I could have a wife, I would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Like a Virgo wife.
A Virgo wife? Mm-hmm. I could see that happening.
I could see that happening for me.
Okay. Well,
I'm coming out as straight.
You're like, this is the episode.
This is the episode. Gabriel Zamora straight.
Like, no wonder you were touching up with that last night, Gabriel.
Oh my God, calm down.
No, but yeah. What I was gonna say is I had signed up for like this app just to like to further explore the dating world with women. Right? Everybody fucking reported it as a fake account, and I was like, fuck, this is why I can't. But every single person that I've had a connection with, I met in person. The last girl that I talked to, oh my gosh, she was so beautiful. How did I meet her actually? I don't remember how I met her, but my girls on Daisy Diaries know of her. Let's just say her name starts with an M. She was the most beautiful girl ever. Oh, actually, I just remembered how I met her. I met her through Roman. Roman introduced us. Okay. And then me and her just ended up together that night, and he was like so pissed because he had brought her for him and I took her. But anyways, so then me and her were dancing, whatever. I kind of initiated that I was like into her, and we hung out multiple times, and then she got a boyfriend, and I found out because I asked her on a date, and she's like, I'm so sorry. She's like, I actually just started dating a guy. And I was like, I was so heartbroken. And then she moved in with him, everything, and like we kind of stopped talking. And then a year later, I get a random text message being like, hey, it's M. How are you? And I was like, oh my gosh.
She's single.
And then, yeah, I was like, hey, I'm good. How are you? She's like, I'm good, babe. She's like, I really want to see you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, that boat has shipped.
That boat has shipped.
That boat has sailed.
That ship has sailed. That boat has shipped. That boat has shipped.
You know what? I'm hungover. I'm hungover, guys. Give me some.
Wait, so you said no.
I ghosted her.
Out of pride, out of ego?
No, honestly, to me, it's just like once I'm uninterested and there's all that time, like I am so uninterested. Like,
but what made you uninterested?
Because like she got into a relationship and there was a whole year that went by. So it's like, to me, it's like.
You weren't open to exploring if there was still a connection there?
No, because I was kind of over it. Okay. I wasn't like really just, I was like,
You're like, in a new era.
New chapter. I was just like, like, I don't even think you're hot anymore.
Because for me, like, I know I was like dogging the shit out of that Pisces guy. But if he got his shit together, there's like that little 1% of like, if you really got your shit together to my standards, you could potentially have another shot.
I get that.
Because to me, like, it's hard for me to like, it's not hard. It's just, it's rare for me to really connect with somebody So I'm willing to explore it in the future.
But did you and him have like one-on-one time?
Yeah.
Where you guys were able to connect? See, like me and her didn't really
Oh,
have
okay.
that.
There was
Like,
you were just attracted to her.
yeah, we were like,
Okay.
no, we didn't have that like those deep connection or conversations. So that's why I was like, I don't really care too.
We had really deep conversations. So
Yeah,
that's why I
you
was
see,
like, but right now I'm not entertaining that man. I got me.
you have your own man.
He's not my man yet.
You have a man.
He's gonna be.
Man.
Yeah, he's gonna be my man.
I was gonna ask you, what are your thoughts on polygamy?
Polygamy, like multiple wives?
That and like polyamorous relationships.
Okay. For me, I think because I don't have the most experience in relationships, like I haven't had like super long relationship, like years type of thing.
What's been your longest relationship?
4 months. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How many exes do you have?
Like
A couple?
like 3 or 4.
4 months has been
Yeah.
your longest relationship?
Mm-hmm.
How old are you? Oh, okay. Gabby, what? I'm like actually in shock that that's been your
It's just like
But why?
because then I get bored.
Gabby.
It's not that I get bored. It's just that like as you're dating,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be with somebody that I don't see long term. I don't have to like go into a year to like know that it's not gonna work out.
True.
Some people are like, we'll do it just for the experience.
No, fuck the experience.
But for me, I'm like, no. Like I'd rather be home. I have hyper independence. So I like to be alone. I have done it kind of like my whole life. Like I've had to like lead myself. Yes, my parents raised me, but I also had to raise myself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very much like, if it's not like fulfilling to the most, I don't want it.
I think as a person that is hyper independent, I'm also hyper independent. We need constant change and stimulation and like if exactly.
Well, no, that's because you're a Sagittarius rising.
No, babe.
Yeah.
No, because even
Yes.
hyper independent people, like I need constant change.
I don't feel like I need constant change.
Because I am a super hyper independent person and it's a little bit too bad. Like
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's like I think I've reached a level of where I think I've reached a level in my life where I'm like so used to being by myself that me sharing a bed with another guy, like if I get married, I don't like that.
What?
No, like
I want my man all over me.
no, bitch.
All over. I'm all over
Like
him.
in my perfect world, like if we're married and we're together, like I want you to have your own bedroom and me to have my own bedroom, and then we can share a bedroom. But like, I don't
That's
want to share the same bedroom for the
crazy.
rest of our lives. That sounds crazy to me. You want to share a bedroom for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
But then what about space? Like,
I'll have my own room.
Exactly,
Like no,
that's
like
what I'm saying.
I'll have a different room where I have my own things, like almost like a man cave.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like I want that, but when I go to sleep, I want to lay next to my man every night. I have my own closet. I have my own things. Absolutely. I have my own space within the home. Absolutely. He does too. But I want to be in the same bed as my man. We'll have like a California king bed, so it's real big. But I love I love love. And like if I choose to be with someone, like I want our feet touching and I want to cuddle and I'm very affectionate when I'm in love. Very affectionate.
No, like for me, it's just like I want to have a couple nights where I'm just like laying by myself and scrolling on TikTok without someone being next to me.
I think you'll eventually find that partner that doesn't make you feel uneasy.
Oh, actually, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're right.
the type of partner, it brings you peace.
True.
Like that's an ideal partner, not somebody that breaks you into pieces. Like, you know what I mean? Like you want somebody who brings you peace and like clarity and like stability and like I want to do those things. It's not because I need to. Yeah, absolutely. Like you're probably thinking of like the exes that you're like, ew, like I don't want to be in the same bed with you for the rest of my life. Of course. But then eventually you're gonna meet that man or woman who you're like, oh, like I want to be next to you.
Okay. Yeah,
You know? Right. And like if you need your own space, you go to your little beauty room and you're like, you're there and like, you decompress. Because trust me, I do need my alone time as well. I'm like a Pisces. Like I need my alone time so I can recharge and everything. But with my partner, I never wanted to feel like it's draining. I never wanted to feel like it's overly stimulating. I want my partner to be peace and I want to be their peace as well. Yeah. You know, like not the peace. I want to be their peace.
So do you think that's why you've had such short
Yeah.
relationships because
Because I'm very much like, I don't need, I can foresee. Like, I can kind of foresee the future. I can already see the flags, and I can see like what's going to be an issue, what's not going to be an issue. And yeah.
Okay.
Like with my ex, I was like, bro, like you need to get your shit together. I'm not about to be around just because I like you. I'm telling you I love you, but you clearly need to do a lot of work on yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't need to be around for that. Maybe if you fix it in the future, we can potentially explore it. Because like I said earlier, it's like, if I really had that connection with somebody, like maybe we can explore it one day. But what he did after is what like sealed the deal. I was like, nah, I don't fuck with you.
I understand that.
Like, cool. But yeah, like I like having a man next to me. It doesn't happen all the time. That's why I think I like it so much.
Wait,
it's like I'm always in bed by myself. It's so lonely.
Let me say this. We were talking about this in the car, but I am the type of person that I do not like needy people. I do not like feeling smothered. I do not like you blowing up my phone, constantly checking. Like that to me is like,
you don't like that yet.
No, I don't like it.
You don't like it yet.
I kid you not, Gabby. I just genuinely do not like it.
I think you're gonna find a partner one day that.
No. But there's people out there that just don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't think it's like about a partner because you said that you're needy, right? Like you love to be needy in a relationship and you're touching like, yeah, no, I hate needy people. I'm so sorry. I love you, but I just hate that smothering feeling of like that to me will make me run away so fast.
Question.
Okay.
Was your mom like that?
Was my mom what?
Like a smothering, like very affectionate?
No, both of my parents were not affectionate.
My mom is extremely affectionate. That's why I'm so affectionate. Even with my cat, I'm always like I'm very affectionate. With my family, a lot of the women in our family are very affectionate.
No, my sisters and I am the affectionate one, and I only say I love you. My sisters do not hug each other. Like Nicole and Daphne live in the same house. They don't tell themselves I love each other. They don't hug. Like if we hug, like if Daphne and I, Daphne will like say I love you like once in a blue moon, or she will hug me. But my sisters and I, we all grew up with an emotionally unavailable home.
Okay.
So maybe that's
like your emotional needs weren't met as.
So I have avoidant attachment because when I was a child, my emotions were dismissed. Yeah. And so learning that at a very young age, now as an adult, it's like as soon as I feel like someone is starting to depend on me or to need me, I'm like,
you freak out.
I freak the fuck out. And that's why needy people trigger me because it's like, then I go the other way. And then obviously as a person that has anxious attachment, they want that validation from the avoidant attachment.
I used to be anxious, but see, these are things that we can work on through therapy and understanding. Yes. So I used to be anxious because we have daddy issues, but we have very different daddy issues.
What is your
daddy issues? Is my dad is not my biological dad.
Oh.
So my biological father left when I was around like 1-ish, right? My parents separated. And my mom got with my current dad when I was like maybe like a year and a half old, right? And that's been my entire life. I've never questioned it, never doubted it. But my mother was very open about it. She was like, this is your stepfather. I don't ever want it to blindside you, but this is your dad. You know, it's like, this is your stepdad, but this is your dad. And I always appreciated the transparency and the truth. But what I never understood until I got older was, and I saw this interview and it really triggered me because I was, I want to say like 18, 19 years old. And I was like, that's what I feel. And it was Nicole Scherzinger from the Pussycat Dolls. I was watching like the behind the music thing about her and like the Pussycat Dolls because I lived for the Pussycat Dolls. And she was talking about how she grew up with a stepdad. And I was like, oh. And she's like, but that's always been my dad. Like he raised me. And I was like, oh, same. Like, what the hell? And she's like, but I understood that, damn, somebody can leave. Even my own biological father left. So my anxious attachment was always, not now, was always like, but what if they leave? So it would always give me anxiety.
Really?
Yeah. So when I would like connect with someone, it would be like, why are they becoming distant? Like, no. I don't want this person to leave because that person left. So it means anybody can leave and I have to like put in work and be extra with it. And like I have the anxious. So I would encounter avoidant people. And it was like this toxic dance of like, oh, you're like getting too attached. Like, let me pull back because I don't know how to reciprocate this. And me being like, why are they pulling back? Like, let me amp it up. Let me give more love. Let me do this. So I had to like definitely through therapy understand that like you need to avoid avoidant people because it triggers my anxious attachment. So that guy, the Pisces guy, he's avoidant because he grew up not with that kind of love. So when I give that love now and I see somebody like not reciprocated or understand it, I'm like, I need to remove myself because I don't need to be anxious. I don't need to wonder if you're going to leave or something like that. It's like, if you're not reciprocating, you're not reciprocating it. Yeah. So for me, like my daddy issue is very much that of I had to like check like, yes, people can leave, but it's not a bad thing, Gabriel. Like you don't have to freak out and you don't have to like try to save it at all costs. Like if people will come and go and that's fine. And like, those are just not your people. And sometimes like people are meant for a reason or a season and enjoy it. Love it for that moment. Like even certain friends that I'm no longer friends with, I never try to like tarnish the image of the friendship that we had because it's like we had such good times. Even with my ex, the one from last year, it's like, yes, it ended bad, but there were so many good things. I learned so much about myself. So overall, it wasn't a bad experience. Yes, it ended bad, but I never want to tarnish anything. I never want to like damage all those things because I'm a Pisces. I want to look at everything as like good and happy and like lovey and like why look at it in a negative way? Like, let me put on my rose-colored glasses. You're triggered.
I'm like, no, I mean, I love the way that you talked about anxious attachment because I've never looked at it that way. The whole time that you were saying that, I was like, do I have anxious attachment?
You can have both. Yeah.
I was going to say, I think you just made me realize that growing up, I had anxious attachment, but then once I moved to LA and like I really stepped it up for myself, then I became the avoidant attachment because I became the provider. Because
sometimes you can be anxious avoidant where when the anxiety is triggered, you instantly become avoidant. Because you're protecting yourself. That's generally what those traumas usually do. Yeah. You're trying to not get re-traumatized. You know, like your body's like, oh, I felt this. I want to avoid it. This hurt me last time.
Yeah. You know? I used to have really bad abandonment issues. That was my thing. And I didn't know that because my thing was just like, when I started to go to therapy, we were trying to get to the bottom of like what was triggering me. And every single time that I like would really, really, really get depressed, it's like when somebody would leave my life and I'd be like, I'm not good enough. You know, I'm incapable of love or whatever it was. So that was my thing that I had to really work on. And so I learned that exactly what you said, that people are going to come and go and it is okay. And that is just life. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like,
and a lot of the time, people's actions are not a reflection of you.
Yeah, no.
It's a reflection of them. But we don't learn that until later on. And we think, did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
What did I do to this person to act like this? And because we want to be like understanding of it, but it messes us up. So it's like, if you can reflect on yourself and be like, no, I'm being a good person. I'm doing good. I'm communicating. This person is acting this way. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's a reflection of them. It's not a reflection of me.
Yeah, that is very true.
Like I want somebody who brings me peace.
Yeah. I mean,
not anxiety.
That's also why I haven't even fucking settled down. Because I'm like, dude, I'm not. And you know, my mom always tells me, she's like, you're never going to find a man because you have like so many things on your list. I'm like, no, the right man will fucking come. The right man will come on, and I'm not going to lower my standards. And that's that.
But I think the right person comes along that makes you realize, fuck the list. Sometimes. Like, and not in its completion, but like other things that you're like, I thought I needed this. But this person makes me realize I don't need this one thing or this other thing.
Yeah, true.
You know, so like be cautious of lists because sometimes a person isn't going to be perfect.
Yeah, of course.
They're not going to just meet it all, but they make you feel amazing. They make you feel in love. They bring you that peace. And it's like, that's why I say like certain trivial things don't matter to me. Like height, muscles, like hair, like style, like all these things, like they don't really matter to me because like things come and go. If I'm only into this person because of their looks, what happens when time takes those looks away and I'm still with that person? What if I'm into this person only for money and something happens to their career and they lose it?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do? So it's like, that's why I always like strive for meaningful, authentic connection.
I genuinely get stimulated by deep intellectual conversations and connections. Like, I think it's very, what's the word?
Meaningful?
No, what's that word I'm trying to look for? Unworldly? Like, it's not like, it doesn't.
Like magical?
I'm like,
Alien?
I lost my train of thought, honestly. I lost my train of thought. But what I was trying to say is that I feel like both you and I get very stimulated by deep intellectual conversations and people and experiences. And that's what brings me joy. And I love that. So I hate meaningless conversations and I hate small talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck the small talk. Also, fuck dating. Like, if you want me, put a ring on it or leave me the fuck alone. Because fuck.
No, I don't mind dating. It's just dating is like the most annoying part of it because being single is fun. Absolutely. You get to do what you want whenever you want to, right? You get to, if you want to go to LA, you can just go to LA. If you want to hang out with friends, you can just go. If you want to go to this concert tomorrow, you can just do that. You can do things on your own accord. And I love that. Being in a relationship to me is even better because you kind of get to do those things, but with someone. And you get to factor them in and you're like, babe, do you want to go to this? Like, should we go watch this movie? You get to factor a partner into things.
Yeah,
like sometimes I want to go to the movies, but sometimes my friends don't want to go watch it.
Yeah.
But if I have a man, it's like, babe, we're going to go watch this because you're my man and you want to make me happy. You know what I mean? But the part that sucks is the in-between. Getting from single to a relationship, the dating aspect. That's the part that's annoying because it's like when you know you're dating with intention for true partnership, you're realizing that like, damn, I'm gonna have to kiss a bunch of frogs. I'm gonna have to interact with a lot of people that are dating just for fun. That are just like, I just want to go out and hang out with a hot person and connect with them and okay. And it's like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. So it's like, that's the annoying part because even sometimes people will lie and be like, yeah, I'm looking for something meaningful. Absolutely. I'm going to wine and dine you. And then all of a sudden, once I get what I want and I see something else that I like, I'm going to go chase that. And then I'm going to go chase that. And then I'm like, motherfucker.
I've experienced that.
I've experienced it and I hate it. I was like, wait, I thought you were serious.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't know. I'm just still like working on myself. And I'm like, you were never serious. You were never serious because a person who understands how like when you really have that connection, regardless of where you're at life, you can still work on yourself. Yeah. You know, it's like, but when you meet that person, then you're like, that's who I want. Yeah. That's who I want to like do this shit called life with.
I was going to ask you, what would you say are your red flags in relationships?
Well, one is I'm definitely needy.
I'm like, I know that one.
I'm possessive.
I'm possessive too. I don't get jealous.
No, I get jealous.
Really?
I get jealous. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, there's just, I mean, I've had viral clips like you can't follow hoes. You like don't be interacting with your exes unless it's necessary. If a bitch is flirting with you, shut it down. Shut it down in front of me. Like, don't ever let no bitch flirt with you. Don't even be friendly with people. Like, do you watch like Love Island UK? No. There was this girl, her name was Ella, and it was so iconic.
Oh, I've seen the viral clip.
And she's like, shut it down. Girls take friendly as flirting. She has like a British accent. Girls take friendly as flirting. Like, shut it down. Like, be like, because I want to be, I'm like that. If I'm with you and some guy comes up to me and is flirting with me, I'll be like, okay, like, I have a boyfriend, pipe down.
But would you say, like, for example, like, I'm not a jealous person in the sense of like, if I'm out with my mans and there's a girl trying to get at him, I'm not going to get jealous. It's going to turn me on because I'm like, oh, you want my man.
Well, because you like girls.
True.
So you're like, ooh, this is about to be fun.
But no, I'm possessive to where it's like
you can talk to people, absolutely. But if somebody's flirting with you and I clock it and you haven't shut it down, I'm going to be mad. Because I don't want to play that tit for tat. Because I can play it. And trust me, you're going to get your feelings hurt once you see that I'm going to be flirting with people.
True. You want to know what gives me the biggest ick? Is when a guy follows like 900,000 plus and then it's like a bunch of girls and I'm like, you want to talk to me? You expect me to take you serious when you follow over 1,000 people? If you follow over 1,000 people and you're a man and most of them are women, do not slide in my fucking DMs. Don't. I'm not going to be interested. I'm not going to reply. I'm not going to fucking entertain it. I would never date a guy like that.
And like the thing is, like some guys, like they'll even sometimes like they'll DM me. They're like, "Oh my god, men must want you." They do, absolutely. They'll be in my DMs and they're like, "Oh my god, you're so beautiful. I would like to take you on a date." And I go to your profile and you're following a bunch of hoes.
Yeah,
you're following like 1,000 people and they're all hoes and you're like all in their likes. You're clearly not ready for what I need, and that is fine. I'm not one to shame nobody. Who am I to judge?
Me either. But I'm just like, if everybody can have you, I don't want you.
No.
Like, no. I can't do that.
Okay, this is another red flag.
I don't have any
I think
red
it's
flags.
like a Tuscan orange. I don't know if it's red, but for me, and some people said it was like very pick me of me to be like this, but I take pride in not having a lot of men say they've had me. I take pride in it.
I mean, I like that we talked about it a little
Yes,
bit.
like
I don't think
so,
that's pick me. I
well,
just think
because for me, I'm like, it's not to shame people who have been around.
Yeah.
It's for me to be like, I take pride in being like, when I bring you around my friends, when I bring you around work, when I bring you around these things, I'm never gonna have to be like, babe, by the way, like there's gonna be some people there. I hooked up with him. I dated him. I did this with him. Like, I don't want to have to do that. I want to be able to bring my man and be like, damn, like, bitch, I got a prize.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a prude where I don't do nothing. You know what I mean?
You're the prize.
I've explored life, but within a good amount of like boundaries for me. Like I explored with singular partners. I didn't have to go with like 100 men to explore different things. I just explored it with like a few. So for me, like, I don't know if it's a red flag, but it's like I take pride in having like a low body count.
I don't think that's a red flag.
The people that I have had sex with, we had a lot of it. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm a very so it's like I don't have a lot of people that I fucked, and I take pride in being like, yeah, like when I'm dating a man, be like, I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to, because I know I'm a prize. Not only do I give good conversation, I give good brain, I stimulate your mind like a motherfucker. I also am very loving. Love is probably the most priceless thing in the entire world. I don't care how much money you have, you can never buy love. And I have it in abundance, and I have it very rare and raw. So it's like, it ain't even no damage type of love. And I look like this.
Yeah.
And there's not that many people that could say that they've had me.
Total prize.
Like, I know I'm a prize, so like, pipe down, little boy. Like, who are you talking to like that? Who are you disrespecting like that? Move it along. Like, get out of the way. Because motherfuckers are lined up.
Yeah.
Like, I'll say it time and time again. Motherfuckers are lined up. So I like to entertain one man at a time. Absolutely. I can never juggle. That's like not my thing, because like if I have sex with a man, even if it's once, I become attached. I don't get attached. I become so attached.
Do move like a man. Fuck. I
really
don't fucking know. But
so masculine.
No, don't say that. Caesar.
You're so masculine.
I'm not masculine. I'm very feminine, but I just don't I don't get attached easily. That's it. It's just
I feel like you have dominant feminine energy. I feel like we have very similar dominant feminine energy. For me, yes, I'm feminine. I know it. I feel like I move within both very easily, but I like my femininity.
Yeah.
But I do have a very dominant energy, to where it's like, it's not so submissive just because I'm feminine. Sometimes guys are like, wait, what the hell? And I think it's also my Latina-ness. Like, I am, a little snappy. Like, you're not going to talk to me some type of way. Yeah. But yeah, you could be like, you're like a dominant feminine. I feel like I'm a dominant feminine.
I'm a dominant feminine. Yeah. Okay.
So it's not so much that you're masculine. It's more,
so stop calling me masculine.
To be quite honest, masculinity and femininity is such a performance.
It is.
Because I could just like bro it up and just be like more chill, lower my voice.
Actually,
like,
you know what? You're right.
Like just make it more slow. Like even in that video where we were like pretending to be the guy in each one, and people were like, "Wait, like Gabriel, you just switched it up real quick." It's like, because masculinity and femininity is such a performance.
It is such a performance.
It is.
You're so right.
So it's like I can do both very well. Like I've been with guys that like me more femme. So I femme it up. There's guys that like want me to be more mask. I'm not going to be in that, because I'm not going to like fake the masculinity, but it's like, I like to just be in both. Like sometimes like today, this is more of a mask outfit, but then there's be days where like yesterday where it was more of a femme outfit because it was like covered in glitter and I'm like living and I'm moving more fluidly. Yeah. It's all like such a performance, and I'm a showgirl and I'm going to perform. I love to perform.
Well, because we were talking about red flags, I have no red flags.
So we're just gonna lie
Again. No,
during Pride Month.
No, I don't think I have any. I probably have red flags, but I feel like
Okay, what would your exes say are your red flags?
I don't know. Should we ask them?
I feel like that. I mean, you can.
No, I'm playing.
What have they said? Or like some red flags?
Oh,
or
actually,
issues?
now you made me think about it. That I'm a little bit too
Okay.
bossy.
I can see that.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm a little bit too bossy. But even like my sisters have said that, like, eres bien mandona, and I'm like, I know, like, I'm sorry. I like
Okay.
things being done.
Yeah.
Like that's it. But
That's
other
not
than
bad.
that, I don't really. Maybe that I like. Well, this was another one, but this was. I feel like this one doesn't really apply anymore. But another red flag of mine, I guess, would be that I like to go out because I'm such an extrovert, and it would bother my partners at the time.
An insecure man, maybe. Because you're young, like you should be enjoying and like life and
right?
like why not have a partner that also wants to go out? Maybe not like going to the club like 5 times a week. Like that would be crazy.
No. But like on
But
the
if you-
weekend with my girls, like cool. No, yeah, because I've
Yes.
met some men that were like, yeah, no, I would love for my girl to go out with her girls, like, you know, as long as she's being careful, blah blah. And then I also love to go out with my girl. I feel like we've talked so much about relationships and love. I want to talk about experiences now. I feel like you've been in the beauty industry or just like in the industry, in the scene in LA longer than I have.
Mhm.
My question to you is, what has been your worst celebrity encounter?
Worst celebrity encounter?
Have you ever had one?
To be quite honest, it's not even celebrities, it's influencers.
Really?
Yeah, like I feel like every celebrity has always been like a pleasant experience. Well, there was one, and I'm not gonna lie, like it was kind of iconic. It was
Oh, okay.
I went to her house
Oh.
after like this party. I met her at this like we were at like this she had a performance or she went to a concert, one of those two. But then we somehow end up at this like club in I think it was in downtown together, and because my friends like are on their glam team, so I was like, okay, cool. And it was fun. And like when I met her, I was like, hi, like nice to meet you. I'm so and so's like friend. And I was sitting next to her and we were like lightly chatting. And then she's like, your hair's so pretty. And mind you, like we have very opposite hair. So I was like, oh, thank you. And then she like pets me. I was like, period.
Okay.
We end up leaving and we go back to her house. And it was like I think her best friend, and then like 4 of us. Only one of the guys was straight, but he was like our friend, and like the rest are like gays, right? So we're there, and I just remember like at her house, like we were playing. She has like this game. It's like a giant iPad, right? And like we're like matching things, right? It's
Okay.
like you tap it and it flips the little card over, and then you tap another one. It's like the matching game, right? And I had taken edibles that night because I love an edible, right?
Yeah.
I love to be high, everyone. And I was doing the matches, right? And I was killing it. I was winning. But we were also all drinking, right? And she's like, I feel like you're cheating. What are you even drunk? And I was like, I mean, I'm pretty tipsy, but like, y'all just need to remember. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm paying attention to y'all's cards. And when I see like matches, I match them. And then I remember at one time, like, 2 of the people were like getting drinks. So it was me, this one guy, and her sitting there. And she was like, oh, ouch. And the guy was like, oh, like what's wrong? And she's like, oh, my like tailbone, it like hurts, like my lower back. And he's like, oh, why? And she's like, when you've just like been in the industry so long, it's just like you're having to sit in these glam chairs and get your hair and makeup done for hours, and you're just constantly sitting, and just like really like messes up your tailbone. And I was like, no, yeah, I totally understand. And she's like, what do you do? And I was like, this bitch. And I was like, I'm like an influencer, like a beauty influencer. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, so basically like I create content at my desk. I'm sitting there for hours. Sometimes it takes a couple hours, and then I'm having to go edit it. So then I'm sitting there for hours as well. Cause girl, you act like you're sitting there for 9 hours. Pipe down. You're sitting there for at least 3, and then you go perform. You know what I mean? Like
It's understandable
she's
because
like-
she does have that attitude.
she has an attitude, but I'm
a
like,
little sassy
but she's
attitude.
an icon. She's
an
a legend, and she's grown up her entire life being that.
Yeah,
Right?
true,
Since she
true.
was a little girl. Like
True.
since she was a little girl, she was a star. So I get it. Your reality is very different than mine.
Yeah.
And she wasn't rude or disrespectful, but it just came across so abrasive. And I just thought it was so iconic. like, I just think it's so iconic that she like
clocked
kind
you a
of
little
like,
bit.
yeah. And she's like, oh, okay.
She's like, all right, I guess you're cool.
Yeah, I was like, okay, like don't try to come for me, girl.
So
But I'm also in her home, and I'm not gonna be too
Yeah,
sassy
true,
or
true,
rude,
true.
you know. So it wasn't like the worst experience because to me, I'm like, it was kind of iconic that she's like, what do you do? I was like, I'm compared to you, girl, nothing.
You're like, actually,
compared to you, not a damn thing. I'm a bum compared to you, girl. But I think like the worst experiences, like actually mean people are influencers. Because they become entitled and they think they're fucking popping as fuck and they think their shit don't stink. But it's like, pipe down. Like, you're an influencer. Like, I'm not trying to diminish your success, but like, why are you acting like you're fucking like Celine Dion,
Yeah.
Adele, Beyonce, like Lady Gaga? Like, pipe down.
I think to me, like, I've had a couple of run-ins with like me meeting influencers for like the first time or somebody that I've seen online and they weren't the nicest or they were rude or whatever. And to me, I just don't ever take it personal. So if that encounter happens, like out of sight, out of mind, and I never think about it. But for some people, they will think about that moment for the rest of their life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Like, that's why I always try to be nice to everybody and kind, even if I'm out and I'm like going through it. If somebody asks for a photo or like, I'm not saying I'm like the super mega celebrity, but it's like for them, it's like their only time they're meeting you. For you, you're meeting a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's like, and that I think applies with everything, whether it be work stuff, whether it be family stuff. Like sometimes, like you have to be mindful that like your actions can leave lasting impressions on people, even if you're going through it. And it doesn't mean like, don't cry, like put a smile on your face. It's like no, it's just like don't always lash it out on people.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like be respectful and like vent it out. Go to your therapist, talk to your friends, do your own inner work, but just be mindful that like a little bad moment can leave a long lasting impression on people.
The only bad encounter now that I had that I actually still think about till this day, and this is the only bad encounter that I've had was with
Jenny 69. Same. Fucking hate her.
No, not Jenny. We love Jenny. Honestly, that 3-way phone call that we had was pretty iconic. Do that more often. But
we were spilling the tea.
spilling
Oh,
the
if y'all
tea,
could
girl.
see that 3-way phone
if
call.
Jenny was here,
We need to do an episode like that.
we should do an
The
episode
three
with
of us?
Jenny.
That'd be so
That
iconic.
would be iconic. But it just reminded me, and I still think about it to this day, and I'm just like, I wonder if he hasn't gotten canceled or anything yet. But maybe I'm going to tell you this story, and you tell me at the end who you think it is. Because I feel like you're going to...
No.
I feel like you might know. But basically, this was like 3 years ago, I think, like 3-4 years ago. One of my guy friends was like, hey, like, do you want to come out to dinner? I was at the time with 2 of my homegirls, and I think we had just like gone to the pool. So we had like no makeup. Our hair like wasn't done anything. And I was like, yeah, we'll come through, but like we're not done up, you know? He said, no, it's fine. Tell me why we pull up. And they take us to the private room at Boa Steakhouse. And it's a whole private dinner party, and it's like 30 people in there. And I'm like, what the fuck? I literally show up in like jeans, some heels, and like a little crop top, but I have no makeup and my hair's all looking at shit. And me and my girls were like, what the fuck? Like, why didn't he tell us that this was like a big dinner? Yeah. So it was a long table. It was only guys. There were no girls there. It was like
a sausage fest.
It was
why
it was
wasn't
a private
I
dinner.
invited?
Fucking Gabby. So then we're like going around the table, like saying hi. And then the one that was sitting at the very end was like the celebrity. And to me,
That's crazy. I'm not introducing myself to 30 men.
I was like, hi.
I'm just waving.
Like, me and all my friends, like we went around the whole table.
No.
I remember when I saw him, I was like, okay, cool. Like you're this person, like whatever. Like to me, I don't fangirl. I don't get face, whatever. So then they had to add an extra table because obviously that whole table was full. So we're like eating whatever. And my friend goes, she's like, oh, like I want to get at him. And I'm like, girl, go for it. You know, go for it. And so we're sitting down, and then he comes and sits next to me. And so he sits next to me, and he's like, what's your name? And I was like, oh, my name's Daisy. And like, he's like, you know, introducing himself to the table, whatever, blah, blah. And just the way that he like sat down and like was just like, he was just, his energy was like, whoom, like it was like immediately like very intense. And so
like good intense or bad intense?
Like kind of bad. Like it's like as soon as he got there, like we all kind of like just like shut up and like we just let him talk type vibe. Anyways, so then we wrap up the dinner and everyone's like getting up, and then he looks at me and he's like, come here. And I was like, what the fuck? So I go over there and he grabs me by my necklace and pulls me, and then he like fixes it and he's like, it was crooked. And I was like, okay, like that was weird, whatever, right? We're walking out and I'm about to get into the car with my friends that I got there with, and he's like, no, you're coming with me. And I was like, no, like I came with he's like, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you you're coming with me.
Oh my god.
No.
So sexy.
I don't like that.
Oh my god.
So then
tell me what to do.
we get to the club. It's because like for me, it's like I wasn't interested. Like I don't care how much money you have and like
and your friend already said she was.
Yeah, and so I was like, you know, like I was like, no, like I'm gonna go with my friends. Plus, like, I don't want to fucking go with you and like 20 fucking guys. Like we're all going to the same spot. So we go to the club. This is when One Oak was open.
Oh my god, I
So
forgot about that.
Yeah, this was definitely more than 3 years ago. Then like 4. Yeah, okay. Anyways.
Like before quarantine.
Yeah, way before quarantine.
Okay, so more than 4.
So we get to the club and I'm like dancing, cool, whatever. And it's like, obviously like we're standing on the couch. So it's like me and my girls. And then, you know, my guy friend's like down there, like where the bottles are at. And then he gets there with like, have this in mind. He had like a good like 3 security guards with him and like all his homeboys, like his manager, whatever. So as soon as he gets there, he tells my friend to scoot over. So then he's between me and my friend now. And then he puts a security guard in the front, a security guard in the back, and then he puts like his best friend next to me. So then I like, obviously we're in the club, the music's loud, whatever. Like I didn't really realize it in the moment that I was like isolated until like I'm like dancing and then like this song came on. And so I like started shaking my butt a little bit and I just feel somebody put their finger through the hoop of my jeans and yank me down. And so I get yanked down and it was him and he's like, don't dance like that. And when he yanked me down, I was like, what the fuck? And so I just remember being like, he's so fucking weird. He's like, take this. So then he like starts giving the shots. So I'm like, okay, like he's definitely drunk or something. Like, why is he being so fucking weird? So I stand back up, yanks me back down. And then I was like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? You know, and he's like, I don't want you dancing like that. Like, I don't want you dancing provocatively like that. And I just remember like, because he yanked me down, I'm like looking up and literally like the friend looked at me.
Oh, he's standing?
No, like he would yank me down because he was sitting down and I was standing up. So then he yanked me down.
Okay.
And I remember looking up and like his security guards right there and his friends there and they're all just looking like, we don't see shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, clearly he has like some fucking controlling issue, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm probably gonna end up leaving like 5-10 minutes, whatever. I like, he stands up. So then he's like, stand up. So then I stand up. And I also was very drunk. I wasn't like drunk as fuck, but I was like drunk. So I'm just kind of like, okay, like I'm trying to process what's happening. And then he still had his finger in my belt hoop. And then he would like yank me when he wanted me to dance. And then he would like grab me when he wanted me to stop dancing. And so I was just like, what is he doing? Like, what is this game? And I was waiting to see like if one of my friends would see it. And so it wasn't until he was like, you're coming home with me. And I was like, I'm not fucking going home with you. Like, I remember being like, who the fuck do you think you are, you know? And I started to get scared because he then started to get like very like, it wasn't just now the hoop. It was like he was grabbing my entire pants. And I was like, okay, he's being a little bit too aggressive, right? So then I'm like kind of like going like this for my friend, like, bitch, like, look what the fuck he's doing, you know? And she finally peeps that his hand was on my jeans. And so she goes like this. She's like, what's going on? And he slides his hand through my back. And now his fingers like this. But because I have my hair exactly like this, it was covering his hand. So he grabs me and he literally is squeezing the shit out of here. She's like, are you okay? And whenever she said that, he like grabbed me and squeezed me right here. And I was like, yeah. I was like, everything's fine. Because in the moment, I was like, okay, all of his security's around us. Like, clearly I'm like, I don't have an upper hand in this situation. And then, I don't know, I guess I was just like scared in the moment that I was like, no, yeah, everything's fine. And then after that, he then went like this and he scratched my entire back. Like, bitch, like pipe down type shit, or like, you know, like you're mine now. I don't fucking know. It was like so fucking weird. And then I just remember looking at my guy friend, looking at him like, why would you put me in this situation? Like, why the fuck did you invite me here? And he literally just looked at me like, I'm sorry, like I can't control that. As soon as he went to the restroom, I fucking ran.
Oh, absolutely.
And I left. And that was the weirdest, worst encounter ever. And so then I ended up finding out, and a lot of stories came out about him. being crazy controlling like that afterwards. So I'm like, this probably wouldn't even make it into the podcast, but yes.
How did I know?
How did you know that?
How did I know?
See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, how did you know?
Because he's known for being a fucking weirdo.
Crazy and weird and controlling like that. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, imagine something was slipped into my drink or like just something else. I was like, oh, absolutely.
Well, I mean, like,
she also came out talking
she
about
talked
that.
about it, and it's basically like it's sexual coercion, where it's like they think like they can just do things like that to you, and that's the scary part. It's like when I say like I like a possessive man, it doesn't mean to that extent of you thinking I am a piece of property and you can tell me what I can and can't do. I like possessive in the sense of you're leading and you're kind of like you're leading the way and you're like, come on. Yeah. You know, like, let's go here, let's go there. Like, we're having dinner here, we're having dinner there. But if you kind of tell me what to do, like, there's going to be times where I'm like, no. And you can't be mad.
Yeah, no.
You can't be mad at me. Because it's like, no, like, don't disrespect me because that's disrespectful. Like, don't ever disrespect me in your quest of being, like, dominant. Don't disrespect
I don't even think that was a dominant thing. I just literally feel like, I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, he was so intense in person. I was like, oh, hell no. That's been like probably the only bad encounter that I've had. Yeah, literally ill. Literally fucking ill. But
ew.
Anyways.
And that's the thing. He's fine.
He is.
He is a handsome man. And when I say I don't give a fuck about looks, it's because of that. You can be so attractive and you could be the shittiest person.
That is true.
Like, women, stop procreating with attractive men who are shitty people. Like, don't have babies with them. No, because shitty behavior becomes genetic. It becomes genetic in the way that trauma can be passed down generationally.
True.
Like, I feel like I was definitely meant to be placed in my family to just heal a lot of the trauma.
Oh, I love that.
And not allow and just let it go down, and I'll be the one who heals it all. I'll be the one who heals. I can take that burden on. So for me, like, shitty qualities can be passed down.
I mean, you are shown the blueprint. So when you're very young, but it's up to you if you want to change the blueprint.
Yeah.
If you want to rewrite the blueprint. You don't have to go by the blueprint.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that at a young age. What would you say is your deepest regret in life? Do you have a deep regret?
My deepest regret in life is...
It's actually a really deep, good question. I don't know what my deepest regret would be.
Maybe like not auditioning for American Idol.
Gabby.
I can't sing, but like that would have been fun. No, probably not doing my fucking eyebrows sooner. But then maybe they would have been messed up. Oh, you know what it is? I regret my second lipo. I wish I would have gone to Mexico.
That's your deepest, biggest regret in life?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Literally.
Okay.
Because like there's other things that I like can look back at. Like I remember in high school, my senior year, I won homecoming king.
Oh, period.
I was that girl. I've always been that girl.
Uh-huh.
And in that process of like that summer, my junior year, I had met this guy. He was a senior, and I had the biggest crush on him in my middle school, like grade, because he was like the athlete. Right? Like he was just like the overall athlete, popular, like he was in all the sports. And then in high school, very much that. And then my senior year, like during the summer, we like still kind of kept in contact. And I was like, you're straight, I'm gay. Like, that's kind of weird. But like, okay, whatever. And like he would come over to my house and we would just like chill on my porch. And I'm like, this is so random, but like, I'm not going to stop it. Like, this man is fine. Right? And then I remember one day I was like getting ready for work. And this is when I worked at Kroger.
You worked at Kroger? Oh my
I worked
God.
at a grocery store. I was that girl too there. And unfortunately I got fired. So
wait, why did you get fired?
Because I was hooking people up. I was discounting stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, what? Y'all can track that? That's when I learned they can track those things. So then I was getting ready for work, right? And this was like a weekend, right? Because like I want to say like maybe the first month of my senior year I worked. And then I was getting ready for work. And my little sister comes in. She's like, your friend is here. And I was like, what the fuck? Who's my friend? It's like the one with the red truck. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't have a friend with a red truck. And it's a guy? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, what the hell? Mind you, I'm like wearing my like Kroger uniform, right? I go to the door and I'm like, and I open it up and it's him. And he's like, hey, wait, are you just coming home from work? Or are you going to work? And I was like, no, yeah, I'm going to work. And he's like, oh, I was like, why? And he's like, I wanted to like take you to a museum.
Aw.
And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, like, do you think you can call out? And I was like, I can't call out because I called out on homecoming day. They put me to work, right? They scheduled me. I had requested it off, but they scheduled me. And I said, I'm calling off because I knew I was going to win. Oh, I just knew it, right? But they said, if you're not there, we will crown the next person. They said it to everybody, right? If the person is not there who wins, we're not just going to not crown someone. We're crowning someone that night. So if you win and you're not there, you're not going to win. So I said, no, I'm going to win. So I called out and I won, period, right? So I was like, yay. So I couldn't call out again because then I would be fired because it had been like a week, right? So I was like, I can't call out. And he got so sad. And then he ends up leaving. And I wish I would have called out because I had that job for maybe a month after. And lo and behold, like I think like a month later, like the texting dwindled, the conversation dwindled, and he ended up getting a girlfriend. And they're like married with kids. And I'm like, could that have been me? Like, you know what I mean? But I don't have regrets because it's like, I love my life right now and I love who I am.
Yeah.
But it's like, what would have happened if I had called out?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what, like
the what if.
The what if.
What if.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a huge regret.
No one.
What is something that you learned a little bit?
Single thing.
What is something? What is something that you learned a little bit too late in life? I think for me, it's like staying somewhere where I was not wanted.
Okay.
Because for me, it was like, you can leave.
Yeah.
And I thought that like it was impossible. So I'm just like, I wish I would have learned that sooner, where it's like, it's okay to leave. You do not have to stay, especially if you are not being treated nicely.
Yeah.
So I feel like it also just comes with time, but that's for me.
Mine is listening too much to people's opinions of me.
True, that as well.
And I think especially because of social media, and I didn't even learn it in the early stages of social media, like it definitely was like, I feel like quarantine really made me overly dissect myself. Like I really dissected myself.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like I really like I deconstructed the car down to its initial pieces.
I love that.
And reconstructed it. So that's why like people say I'm very different since then. Like before and after quarantine.
You definitely are. Even just the way you carry yourself.
Like my energy is really different. It's more chill.
It's more chill.
It's not so like, hi everyone. Like I used to be like that. And it used to be very much like a defense mechanism of like, oh, like kind of look at me. And I think also I got into my looks more during quarantine. I had the surgery, so I look very different. So I've even started to dress more simple because before I would do the most with the outfits so I could be noticed. But then I was like, but why, Gabriel? So I had to dissect that. So there's going to be days like yesterday where I wear the glittery outfit because I'm like, bitch, I feel good. Yeah. But before it used to be because I want people to pay attention to me. But why? And I started to dissect it because it's like, because I wanted like connection. Yeah. You know, it's like
validation.
Yeah, it was like all these different things. So I definitely had to like deconstruct it. And like I was going based off of like what people wanted me to be and to do. Yeah. And I was like, what do I want though? Yeah. So it definitely took time for me to like remove people's opinions of me from my thought and decision making process.
I like that. Okay. Well, before we wrap up, I want to ask you a rapid question.
Okay.
Fuck, marry, kill, Peso Pluma, Bad Bunny, or Maluma?
I'm going to marry Bad Bunny.
Okay.
I just feel like me and him have the exact same birthday.
Really?
March 10.
Oh, interesting.
So because he's a Pisces, if he is like as romantic as me, I know it could be magical. Like I'm not scared of dating a Pisces. I'm just scared of dating an emotionally like undeveloped Pisces because those are very volatile. So when people are like scared of Pisces men, totally understand it. They're toxic, right? If they're emotionally underdeveloped and they don't go to therapy. So marry Bad Bunny. Oh, so he's just so Latino. I love a Latino.
Okay.
I would
fuck or kill Peso Pluma or Maluma.
I would.
I already know your answer.
I would kill. I know this sounds so bad. I would kill Peso Pluma.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I was torn because I was like, he's so confident. I kind of want to see what it's all about. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, but I gotta kind of be attracted to you, and I don't like skinny guys. Like those are not my thing. So I feel like even though Maluma's short, he got some thighs on him.
Is he short?
Yeah, he's short. He's like 5'8", 5'10".
Oh my god! Wait, you want to know what is my favorite body part on a man? And like
thighs.
I like calf muscles.
Really?
Yes, I love me a good girthy calf muscle.
Okay. Yeah, usually it comes with a thick thigh too. Yeah. If they have like good, like I love legs on a man. I love legs on a man because that means you can carry me.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want a jail body on a man where he's all built on top and skinny little legs.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Yeah, no. So yeah, marry Bad Bunny. I've always had the biggest crush on him. That's like one of the only celebrities that I've said like I have a crush on him.
Okay. So marry Bad Bunny.
Fuck Maluma and kill Peso Pluma.
They kind of rhyme, period. Mm-hmm. Well, Gabby Gabs.
What would your answer be?
I'm not answering that.
Why?
I don't want to answer that. Because something might happen and I don't.
Oh my God.
No, I don't want to answer that. And then it comes back to me. I'd rather not answer it.
Okay. She wants to be mysterious.
You know? Maybe one already happened. Who knows?
I know that's right. I know that's right.
I'm playing. I'm just playing. But you never know when Daisy Marquez is playing.
True.
No, I was playing. But thank you so much for coming. You are more than welcome to come whenever you want. And we will see you guys on the next episode. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.